All right, we're tuning in for another edition of Ask a Relationship Question with Devin T. Robinson X and Tammy Black. I thank you all who saw me on BET, who tuned in and made sure they became a part of this movement. Greatly appreciate you. All right, so let's go into the questions and whatnot. All right, first, 13-year-old from Miami, male. Can you get HIV/AIDS through saliva or spit? Virtually no, because it would require a lot of saliva for that to even happen or whatnot. HIV is found in the saliva, but in very small increments or whatnot. So it's virtually impossible to get it through saliva spit. Now, if you're asking about a kiss or through oral sex, now the only way that would be possible if that other person has a cut and the person that you're applying oral sex to or kissing has a cut as well, or has, and they have to have HIV. That's another key element you want to make sure they have in there as well. So basically, the answer I say virtually no. All right, the next question. Female from Louisiana, states 15 years old, says, if a guy broke his phone and don't get in touch with you, does he still love you? If a guy breaks his phone and doesn't get in contact with you, I don't think that's a question of if he still loves you. I think that's more of a question of I hope he is okay, because if you're not able to get in contact with him, there are many other things that can happen to him that you may want to find out about, whatnot. But if he broke his phone on purpose to not get in contact with you, so he can stop conversation, then I don't know if that's a halt of love, but it just may be that he maybe wants some time away and wants to do something else, or just space or whatnot. Because sometimes we do that because we just want space. I don't know about breaking my phone, but getting stopping communications just because I want some space to try to clear my head about something. So maybe that could be the case with this young man. All right, next one. All right, 17-year-old male from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh in a house. If a man tells you they want to be with you and he's the one for you, he wants to be with you for the rest of his life and he can't wait to have sex with you, and he only knew you for 4 days but you never saw him, just talk over the phone. Should I trust him? No. I wouldn't trust any internet or phone type of relationships that are going on, that are really prevalent nowadays. I wouldn't trust them. I would rather, if this person is a person for you, you take your time, you get to know them, you guys meet up in places that are populated heavily by people, like malls, movie theaters, things of that nature. Go ice skating, things of that nature, so that way you guys can have an opportunity to be around other people. So if anything happens, you can be protected, or have a better chance of being protected. Also, you don't know this person. For them they've only known you for 4 days and you're the person for me. What did you do, or how special are you to make that person feel that way? So that would be something I would look into. So I wouldn't trust them. I trust time. How much time I've spent with the person to be able to decipher if that person's even worthy of my time or my sex. 17-year-old female. My name is, I won't say her name. I have a boyfriend that is 20 years old. That's already a bad thing, because before this year, he is committing a crime. 20 years old, and he wants to have sex with me, and I don't know what to do. Can someone help me? If you're even questioning this situation, then you're not ready. 17 years old, sweetheart, you have so many other things to look forward to, and you can do so many other things besides having sex and whatnot. And sex is not the climax of a relationship or whatnot. There's so many other beautiful things that you can do with somebody besides having sex with them. You're not ready. You don't need to be ready. Go ahead and do other things. Go hold hands. Go to the mall. Mountain climbing, jet skiing, bungee jumping. There's so many things that you guys can be doing. Going to theme parks, going off on cruises. So many things that you guys can do besides having sex. And it's there. It's there to do. But if you even question it, sweetheart, then that means you need to just take your time and not even worry about that right there. Because once you get into the sexual realm, it's one world that I even regret. I don't have too many regrets in my life. But that's one thing. If I could go back and be a virgin, I would go back and be a virgin. Because that stress won't even exist in my mind. So, sweetheart, you're not ready. You don't need to be ready. And take your time. All right. Now, all right, another female. 24 years old, from Patchogue, New York. Okay, my New York people. Okay, I am dating a 39-year-old white man whom I work with. I've liked him since I joined the organization 3 years ago, and I told him in May Since then, we've established what I feel is a good relationship, but when I asked him if he would see himself having children with me and getting married, he was extremely surprised. Yeah, I would be too. He stated that it's too soon to even talk about it, and I'm offended. I want to know if he will take me seriously or if this is a joyride for him. It could be a joyride for him. I mean, 24 versus 39, I mean, that's such a generational gap that he may not even want to think about this thing, this thing about marriage and children and whatnot. And you guys have only been together for so long. So maybe he is joyriding at this moment, but maybe in the future you guys can have something serious. So he may be thinking of you as serious, but just wants to enjoy it. Many times, many women don't pay attention to the successful women in these successful relationships are women who keep their men in joy. You know, they enjoy, they're happy, you know, and they actually enjoy being in joy with that person. And that's the most important thing. How much do you guys have fun? Do you guys go places? Do you guys always see each other and always have happy thoughts about each other? That's what you focus on. You don't have to worry about sex. You don't have to worry about anything else. Just making sure that he's having joy and giving you the same amount of joy. All that baby and all that marriage stuff is going to come on. You're 24. You got a long time to even worry about that, sweetheart. So that's something I would look at. Because me, even my sense, I'll go, whoa, hey, sweetheart, man, I'm 20, I'm 27, and I'm like, hey, I got a million and one things I'm looking to do. I'm not even in that. That would surprise me. So that's why I made that expression, like, what? The same way. It would surprise me. So, like I would say, just enjoy the whole situation. Have fun. Make sure you're not being used and whatnot. That is, if the sex is involved, that is just a sexual thing that you guys are doing or not. But just enjoy the whole situation so that way you can continue to evolve as a future wife for anybody. Because the rule number one, if he's not happy with you, he's gonna be happy with somebody else. All right. 26-year-old female from Winston, Salem, North Carolina. My ex cheat. What should I do? Well, if they're already your ex, then basically you've already done the right thing, which is getting rid of them. Cheaters are most of the time repetitive because if they already seen they can do it once, then odds are doing it twice is right around the corner because, I mean, I've already seen that I can do it. So cheaters typically are repetitive and it works for them. So what you do is what you did. You get rid of them. And then you make them work to get back with you if you decide to get back with them. Don't just take an apology, I'm sorry, this happened, yada, yada. Everybody can say that. But make them work. Let them know that it's not an easy re-entry into your heart. Because if you do, then let them cheat again. Then they can just do the same thing or just a little bit better and get back with you. And you don't want to go through that. It's not a good way to show how much your heart is worth or time. All right, next one. Another female from Arizona. What is a good age to have sex? Whenever you're married is the best age to have sex. If you're married at 15, cool. If you're married at 39, 40, 50, cool. Waiting to marriage is the best time to have sex because at least you have that covenant with God coupled that will make this a lot better and make everything a lot better. Now, when it comes down to fornication and things of that nature, now if you're in that realm, that's a little different because there is no good age. There is no perfect age. It's whenever you're ready, whenever you're mentally ready to deal with the stress and all the crazy things that come along with having sex. Because it's not just putting a penis in a vagina or vagina against vagina or what have you, whatever your preference is. It's always something extra with it. Now, when you're married, it's just different because now you have a model to go after. You have at least God's blessing on you when you actually get into that particular realm. But I always advise people, man, if you're not having sex, don't have sex, man. Just enjoy your life because it's just a world you don't want to get into. All right. Next one, female from Mississippi. What do you do when the boy you love, who say he loves you and he wants to spend all his days with you, and your baby hurts you to the point that you really don't know what to do anymore because you are tired of crying, but it's the first time he really hurt you, and he do all he can to get you back, but scares you to take him back because you're scared of the outcome of the whole situation. But at the same time, you want to take him back because you really miss him and you can't live without him because he told you he will always be there for you and your baby. So can you please give me some answer because I am stuck in a cold, lonely world with no one to love me? First and foremost, you have God. You have Jesus. You have somebody to love you. Second, sweetheart, you can live without him because you're living right now without him. Many of the times we realize, man, we don't take that into the consideration that there are millions of people out there. You know, just because this one guy was able to supply you with that certain feeling doesn't mean that there are 50,000 other men that can do the same thing. That can't do the same thing. They're out there, sweetheart. And when you say you can't live without it, and I see that you say you're with the child or whatnot, that's another thing too. If he loved that child, if he treat that child well, there's another man that can do that as well. What I would invest my time is why was he so special? What did he do to earn such an entry into your heart? And why is he even in a position to even have you feel this particular way? You know, what has he done to earn it? So I would ask that question first, and then also I would parlay this to saying, you know what? This particular situation, whatever he did wrong or whatnot, does he even deserve a way back? Does he even deserve a route back into your life and your child's life? Does he? Because if he doesn't, then forget about the whole thing. You know, there are a lot of good people, but when good people hurt you, just being a good person is not enough. So what I would do is I would analyze this whole situation, find out, wait, what has he done to make me feel this way, and really weigh it. I mean, what the dates, the conversations, the time, the inspiration he's donated to your life. Go to howgoodtosex.com, buy the book, and you'll understand how important inspiration is in a relationship. Is he inspiring you? Is he supporting you? Is he doing the same thing for that child? And if he is, then now you can say, okay, now maybe he's worth you maybe taking back. Now when you find out, you know, is he going to work to get back with you? That's another thing. Is he going to work to get back with you? Then that'll change everything as well. Because if he's going to work to get back with you, that'll be a reason to get back with them. Because most men, we don't have to work, like in the previous question, we don't have to work to get back with you. We'll buy you some flowers, an apology, and then that's the end of it. But I would analyze the situation and see if he's willing to work to get back with you and to make sure that he rectifies what he's done wrong. And if he doesn't, realize that there are many people out this way, and you're never alone. Because as long as God is here, you always have somebody.